I'm getting kind of tired of our athletes, and you'll see why. Here's Shaquille O'Neal.
What do you think about that, Shaq? You heard Heather's last story.
I mean, to each his own. It's something I wouldn't do. You know, his comments were there injustices. There have always been injustices. You know, me personally, I would probably go about it a different way. You know, my question is, what happened last year? How come you didn't decide to do this last year or the year before that or the year before that? So I don't know, Colin, but again, to each his own. I don't really have a say on it, but I would never do that. My father was a military man, and, you know, he protected his country. Uncles are in law enforcement. You know, they go out and work hard every day. Just, you know, other ways to get your point across.
So you're an African American. And a lot of people feel as though,
I didn't notice.
From your perspective, you should be standing with Colin Kaepernick, but you also are pro-military and pro-cop. Can you be both?
Yes, I can be both. Again, you know, my thing is, you know, you have to enter onto the scene one way. You know, people like Muhammad Ali and Bill Russell, they were one way their whole career. You can't show us something and then go to another just because of, you know, certain issues. Again,
This is what happens when oh God, check with people. Like, I always, as smart as I think I am, I always check with somebody before I say, you know, because he literally just said that you do not have permission to grow and develop, right? The way you come in on a scene is the way that you have to stay. Shaq, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Life doesn't work like that. You have the freedom to grow. So if Colin Kaepernick, when he came in as a rookie, didn't see anything wrong with the world, and then after being in the, I don't even know how long he's been in the league, 3 years, right? 4 years, maybe. I don't know. Who cares? But after 3 or 4 years, he looks around and says, man, I'm making all this money, but I see my brothers and my cousins and my friends still getting killed by the police. He has the right to speak out about that. He does not have to be beholden or pigeonholed to who he was. That's like the opposite of what you want humans to do. We want people to grow and develop. So that's the number one thing. The number two thing is stop using police and troops and veterans as an excuse to silence this man's dissent. I've already talked about that. The third thing is, you just said that you don't have anything to say about it, but then you open your mouth and say a whole lot of things about why you think he shouldn't have done it, and why he, you know, it's like he's an overnight protester. You know, he all of a sudden, you know, what happened? No, you know, what happened last year? You know, what happened that made him do that? You know, he wasn't protesting last year. He wasn't protesting last year because maybe he had not developed in that area, or maybe he had not experienced it. But now he's seen it, now he's experienced it, and he's at the point that he wants to stand out and say something about it. Somebody please get Shaquille O'Neal and take him home. Here's another guy.
I just came from one of the military bases, Aberdeen, in Baltimore area. Did a huge signing there.
So if you would have gone to, you would have not been able to do that with the anthem. Would you have struggled just on that, your relationship with the military?
Yeah, period. So see, and that's the thing, Colin, I think somebody really needs to clear up, right, is that the flag is a different issue. You can think about what you want to think about the flag, but it's the people who stood for that in this country, right? We're not standing here, we're not having this conversation if people didn't go die for this country, right? If you fight for nothing else, the only thing that unites us as a country right now is that. And that's the thing that you can't, I don't care what the issue is. I get it 100%. Listen, I'm in this fight with him. But what he's trying to do and the stage he's doing it is absolutely not the stage to do it on.
Okay, that's enough of him. Ray Lewis, who has a questionable past with the law in the first place, right? He could probably do an episode of how to get away with murder, but that's besides the point. I'm not gonna hold him to that because the law didn't, right? But Ray Lewis now is saying some things that sounds good, but is decidedly wrong. The flag is not, or he's saying the flag is the thing that unifies us. No, this idea that we have the ability to have have some commonality and solidarity around the American concept. Not even the American dream. That's tomorrow's episode. The concept of liberty and patriotism and nationalism and soldiers fighting for our freedom and giving us the freedom to sit here and talk about and criticize America, right? That is not a unifying force in America right now because there are people decidedly left out of this, Ray Lewis. And because of your position in life, you are not privy to the people who are left outside of this. And actually, even in some of your other critiques of Black Lives Matter, you try to blame everyone who's on the outside of this, blame it on them, right? So this idea that we can have this commonality with America through our patriotism is one of the oldest and most manipulative and deceptive concepts in American history, period. Because it depends on who's defining that patriotism and for what reason are they lifting up that patriotism. For the most part, it has been lifted up to forward our interests abroad and to subjugate dissent in a domestic policy. That's what patriotism has been used for. And for you to dismiss him because don't touch the flag, don't touch the people who have, this is, okay. So I'm going to make the black delegation, the racial draft. We offer up Ray Lewis and Shaquille O'Neal in exchange for whoever. Take your pick. I'm not even going to be picky at this point, but I'm trading those two guys because it makes absolutely no sense to me for people to be at that level and not have had the opportunity to understand the context of their conversations that they're trying to forward. Right? It's like they're saying things that they picked up somewhere and heard, and they've not vetted those conversations. And to me, that's the perfect example, Shaquille O'Neal, of coming in at a level, leaving at a level, coming into the league at a certain level and staying that way the rest of your life. This is exactly what Shaquille O'Neal and Ray Lewis have demonstrated, their inability to advance their arguments beyond some rudimentary, elementary bullshit notions of patriotism.